The Rams' master plan has been revealed. 4 key matchups that will determine the outcome this week against the Cardinals, as well as a surprising update about a key wide receiver and a positive story about Kyren Williams to end off today's video. All that and more on this episode of Rams Digest. Welcome back to another episode of Rams Digest. I'm your host, Joshua Finehirsh. And before getting to today's episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. We're on the road to 5K, 5,000 subscribers right now. We're about 110 away at the time I am recording this, so make sure to hit that sub button, click that notification bell, click all so you get notified and never miss whenever we post our daily new Rams Digest video content pieces covering all things Rams. Make sure to hit that like button right now as well for Josh and I to be back streaming this coming Sunday at around 1:20 p.m. Pacific time for Rams Cardinals. And like this video as well for Week 14 getting underway today with the Lions and Cowboys taking it on in a crucial NFC playoff matchup, and crucial because the Rams play the Lions next week. So it'll be interesting to watch that game there. But we got a packed episode today, which we got to get into right now. And first from Rams Wire is 4 key matchups that will determine the outcome against the Cardinals. We're going to head into that right now. And the first one is right tackle Warren McClendon versus outside linebacker Josh Sweat. Sweat is by far the Cardinals' best pass rusher, recording a team-high 42 pressures. The next closest player is Calais Campbell with 25. He's tied for 4th in the NFL with 11 sacks and also has 12 tackles for a loss. Yeah, Josh Sweat's really good. He was on the Eagles last year. I love his sack celebration, wiping the sweat off the helmet. I think it's a really, really cool celebration, but don't want to see him do it against these Rams. Warren McClendon going to be filling in for Rob Havenstein, still out for another couple weeks at least with that ankle injury. And McClendon's been good. He could play all throughout the line. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a bit of help with Josh Sweat, because Josh Sweat is very, very good. Kind of an underrated loss for the Eagles. They haven't really seemed to figure out how to replace him there yet. I know Jalen Phillips is helping them out there, but for Josh Sweat, he's been great for the Cardinals. He's not the problem with this Cardinals defense. It's kind of everyone else, not him. He's been awesome for a few years now. Eagles definitely miss him in the Cardinals. Although they're not winning games, it's not because of Josh Sweat. He has been a difference maker on that defense. Someone that desperately needed a veteran on that D-line that the Rams 100% have to be careful on. As we said, leads the team here and 4th in the NFL with 11 sacks. I don't think it's talked about enough for his play the last few years. Very, very underrated player. Someone the Rams definitely have to keep an eye on if they want to win this game and win on the line of scrimmage. Though he does flip sides on the line of scrimmage, he rushes against the right tackle most often. McClendon is playing great in place of the injured Rob Havenstein and is auditioning to keep the starting job for the rest of the year and maybe into 2026. This is a big matchup for the third-year offensive tackle. Yeah, it is. It is. Again, Rob Havenstein, all those rumors about retirement, especially now that he's being on injured reserve again, definitely seem very, very real. Havenstein's been a great Rams career, helped us win a Super Bowl. Will hopefully help us win another one this year, like this video right now, if I want the Rams to win the Super Bowl. But McClendon's been good in his absence, as I've said, and hey, there's rumors the Rams will go right tackle in the draft. I definitely would not be opposed to that whatsoever, or signing one. And if they don't, and if Warren McClendon does play well, he's a guy that can take that mantle from Havenstein, take that place. He's been working under Havenstein's mentorship for the last few years now, and it seems to be paying off because McClendon has been a very solid replacement. But you hope he can handle himself against Josh Sweat, because this is a key matchup for him and his playing future in terms of being a starter. He'll still be in the league. One bad game's not going to get him cut, or no one will sign him. But if he wants to be a starter, this is a game that can prove it for sure, and he can help the Rams win to keep the NFC West a lead this week. The second one is wide receiver Davane Adams versus cornerback Will Johnson. Johnson is only a rookie and could be tasked with trying to cover Adams on the outside. That's particularly challenging in the red zone, where Adams is dominant with his releases and route running, often winning easily at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, Adams has said he uses basketball moves in the red zone, and those moves do seem to work out quite a bit. They tend to pay off for him. Obviously, Adams on last game had 4 catches, 58 yards, 2 touchdowns, 14.5 yards per catch. I'd like to see him get some more targets outside of the red zone, because he's just such a versatile receiver. I get you're saving him for the red zone in the playoffs, but now you're kind of getting into playoff mode. Fighting for seeding, fighting for the division, and I think it's very, very important that the Rams start targeting him more, especially being covered by Will Johnson. Will Johnson, a corner who Josh and I were high on, who we actually wanted the Rams to take, potentially with pick 26. He fell in the draft to the second round because of an injury. He's definitely the most talented corner from the draft. Jahadae Barron's been really good for the Broncos, obviously, but Will Johnson has so much potential, but this game is going to be tough for him for sure. And Johnson's been a bright spot on defense and is quickly becoming a very good young corner, but this is a real challenge for him on Sunday. Yeah, I do agree. Will Johnson is one of the better young corners in football right now. He was someone who I had a surefire bet on, isn't someone who I'm like, yeah, this guy's going to be good. I think he's going to be good. Did the injury concern people? It concerned me. I moved it down my draft board because I didn't know if he'd be healthy to start the year, but he's been healthy pretty much all year. Haven't seen him really miss any games. If I'm wrong on that, please correct me in the comments. So, Will Johnson's going to have his work cut out for him. I do think Davane is going to be used more as a pass catcher. I think we're going to see some adjustments from that Panthers game, and Adams being used more outside the red zone, I think, is going to be one of them. He'll still be targeted in the red zone for sure, but I think you're going to start to see him being used a little bit more in the open field, where he can do more damage than some people think. Even in his age, and his early to mid 30s, he is still a very good route runner. He's very good at getting yards after the catch still. He can do some of those things. He shouldn't be targeted as much as Puka, but I like to see him get, more than 4 catches. Get him up to 7, 8 catches a game. I think can definitely help out this Rams offense. In everyone versus tight end Trey McBride. It's going to take a village to slow down McBride, the league's best tight end right now. This season, he leads the NFL with 88 receptions, is 5th in yards, 879, and caught the 3rd most touchdown passes, 8. He's been borderline unstoppable since Brissett took over at quarterback, too. Yeah, the big development for the Cardinals this year is Jacoby Brissett has looked better than Kyler Murray ever has running this offense. I know they're not winning games, but I don't necessarily know if that's the goal right now. I think the team knows they're not a Super Bowl or playoff contender just yet. But yeah, Trey McBride's awesome. Nothing bad to say about him. He's been great. I remember he caught his 1 touchdown against us last year. And I also remember a game where we got blown out last year. Marvin Harrison's 1 elite game was against us. Fun fact about that game last year, went up against Marvin Harrison in fantasy that week. Double not fun for me. But besides the point, yeah, everyone's going to have to guard Trey McBride. It's going to be Forbes, Witherspoon. I wouldn't be surprised if Landman or Spates end up getting on him in coverage too. Jalen McCullough, Curl. I don't think Cam Kitchens is even going to go on him because he just doesn't have a shot there. Same thing with Kobe Durant. Maybe you put Darius Williams on him a little bit, but you're going to have to keep on mixing up looks for him. As you can see, leading the NFL in receptions, 5th in yards, and the 3rd most touchdown passes from a tight end. He's looking like prime Travis Kelce right now out there. He's doing everything that they need him to do from the tight end position. He's been awesome this year. Upped his red zone production, which was key. Although, who knows, that might have been a Kyler Murray problem as well. Because with Brissett, he has looked a lot better. Trey McBride, the heart and soul of this offense. He is the guy you have to stop. If you can stop him, this Cardinals offense will not do much with backup running backs. Marvin Harrison and Greg Dortch are both questionable, so the receiving core may also be a little bit banged up heading into this game. So Trey McBride is going to be your number 1 priority. Chris Shula is hopefully going to have many different schemes ready for him. And the Rams will use a variety of defenders on him, from Landman and Spates to Curl and Kitchens, Jalen McCullough, Josh Wallace. With Marvin Harrison Jr. still banged up and uncertain to play, the Rams need to focus a lot of their attention on McBride. Yes, I fully agree with that. They're going to really have to stop McBride because they're going to target him the ball. Regardless if he's covered or not, Brissett's going to try to find windows. He's going to try to throw that ball into him, and it's going to be key for these defenders. Get a hand up, like we've seen with all these pass deflections. This is where you really miss Quentin Lake trying to help go up against a guy like a Trey McBride. He's going to be that key defender on McBride. He would have been if healthy, but unfortunately he is not. I can see Jalen McCullough, Josh Wallace as well did really good in Quentin Lake's absence against the Seahawks. I can see Josh Wallace getting in there a little bit, a guy who he hasn't really seen. I think giving him guys who he hasn't had a lot of tape on, like a Josh Wallace, like a Jalen McCullough, a guys he can maybe struggle with more because he doesn't have necessarily moves / routes / specific plays to get about around those guys like you would maybe a Curl or a Landman or a Spates or a Mano Forbes or Witherspoon, guys who you've seen. Not even really Witherspoon either. Witherspoon and Forbes as well, 2 guys who he may not have seen as much of either. But it is going to take everyone to stop Trey McBride on this defense for sure. And the last matchup is outside linebacker Jared Verse versus left tackle Paris Johnson Jr. Verse only has 6 sacks this season, including 2 in his last 5 games, but he still leads the team with 57 pressures. He just needs to be better about finishing plays and rushing with discipline. Yes, I do agree. And Johnson is the Cardinals' best lineman, leading the team with a pass blocking grade of 78.3. Even with that impressive grade, he's given up 31 pressures and 5 sacks, so Verse is capable of having a big game still against the Cardinals' left tackle. Yeah, it's Paris Johnson, another high Cardinals draft pick from a few years ago, starting to pan out, starting to really, really show his prowess, why he was so good at Ohio State, and why he has been better as this year has gone on. For sure. Yeah, Jared Verse, I think you're going to see multiple different guys going at him. I think Rishula is going to go back to using stunts, mixing up the line of scrimmage a bit better. trying to really confuse Jacoby Brissett, who's not as mobile of a quarterback as the QBs the Rams have been seeing. Now, again, Jacoby Brissett has not thrown many interceptions either, but we'll see if, like with Sam Darnold, the pressure can get him to throw some more interceptions. I think that will be key to try to get pressure on Brissett, because he's going to look to get that ball out quickly regardless, but if he can really blow up the line of scrimmage, stop Brissett, I think you can really prevent Trey McBride from getting the ball as well. This D-line is going to have to help out that secondary quite a bit in this game, because outside of Paris Johnson, that O-line is not great. And that is all for the matchups we have in this video. Comment down below your number one matchup. To me, it's Davante Adams versus Will Johnson. I think Davante Adams can absolutely cook over there, but leave it down below in the comments, or if there's another matchup you're looking forward to as well. But our second story of the day is Rams receiver Tutu Atwell has been great in the locker room, but Sean McVay had some interesting words about his return from IR. This is also from Rams Wire, which we will be getting into right now. And Tutu Atwell is healthy and ready to go after missing time with a hamstring injury, which landed him on IR in Week 9. He sat out the required 4 games while on IR, and one more in Week 13 when the Rams opted not to activate him despite the receiver being healthy. Sean McVay was non-committal on Atwell returning this week against the Cardinals, and on Wednesday, he wouldn't even say whether Tutu will play again this season. When he was asked whether it's possible the Rams won't activate Atwell before his 21-day window closes, McVay wouldn't rule it out. And we have McVay's quote right here. We haven't gone down that road yet, but there are a number of things like what we've talked about, he said. I have a lot of love for him and what he's done and how he's handled it. It's been a unique set of circumstances relative to the timing and figuring out how you get 48 guys up and being able to balance that out relative to how many on offense and defense, and how many on defense. And your 3 specialists, that's not really something that we've explored or really thought was a possibility, but you never know. Yeah, this is definitely something I didn't expect to hear. In my last video, I talked about how Tutu Atwell had been such a good leader for guys like Xavier Smith. But again, on the field, hasn't really been there. Only 4 catches, 164 yards, and a touchdown. Not great. On the air, he had the walk-off play against the Colts. Great play, but besides that, not really too much. And the Rams might be admitting the $10 million contract was not good. Excuse me there. I do believe that Atwell's been a good leader, and he's a good locker room guy, a good clubhouse guy. Knows his role, not trying to do too much. But when you pay a guy $10 million, you got to see him produce on the field. Part of it's on McVay, too, and I think McVay is realizing that part of it's on him. They don't really have a spot for him right now with the way the team's playing, the way the team's kind of been rolling. Recently, it's kind of been without him, and he wasn't necessarily making the team, for sure, better on the field. Again, off the field, being a leader and all that, I think is still very important, but at a certain point, you have to see the production on the field, and they have not. So I do understand where McVay is coming from, but I would like to see him get a shot to play again, for sure. It's been an extremely disappointing season for Atwell, who signed a $10 million fully guaranteed contract in the offseason before hitting free agency. He's been a part-time player who's caught just 4 passes for 164 yards and a touchdown. McVay was committed to finding ways to get Atwell more involved after he signed his new deal, but that never came to fruition, even with the hefty $10 million salary. The Rams have another week and a half to decide whether to activate Atwell, but if they don't before his 21-day window closes, it'll end a frustrating season for the former second-round pick. It would. There's no other way to put it. This would be a very frustrating season, probably his last season as a Ram, if it were to end this way. Again, I think he should be brought back up. I think you can maybe try to find another guy to bring down. I don't know who that would be. Maybe like your last offensive lineman, Ronnie Rivers. You don't need 3 running backs active, or 4 running backs. Keep Jarquez Hunter as your third. I don't really know what you would do if you are the Rams here, because it's not like Atwell coming up means he's automatically going to get the ball. That's not really the case, because the offense has changed and flowed throughout the season, even while he's been gone. So I don't necessarily think him coming up changes his role here really at all. So there may not be a place for him, but still as a leader, as I've said, very important, very good leader. But on the field, the results haven't necessarily been there. I do think they should give him a shot to play if he's healthy throughout the rest of the year. Comment down below right now what you think as well, because this could be a very frustrating and a bit of a sad end to his Rams career if that were the case, according to McVay. And now our final story is about running back Kyren Williams being nominated for a great NFL award. And we're going to get into that right now from Rams Wire as well. For the second year in a row, the Rams nominated Kyren Williams, who is a staple in the community each and every year. Players who are nominated for the award display excellence on both on the field and off it, making it an impact in the community through charitable efforts. This season, Williams visited schools, military events, participated as a member of Big Brothers Big Sisters per the Rams official site, And this is for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. First off, like this video right now for Kyren Williams doing all this great stuff in the community. Obviously, so many NFL players do this, but you have to nominate one per team. And Kyren has been the Rams nomination for the second straight year. Hopefully, he can win it. But Kyren had some words to say about what this award nomination means to him. And we're going to get to that right now. Each time I'm out in the community, I think back on the impact Steven Jackson had on me at a Rams community event growing up, Williams said in a press release. Being able to make a positive impact on the youth across Los Angeles and seeing smiles on people's faces means everything to me. This award is special because my commitment to the community is never about recognition, but about being the inspiration to show young people they can dream big and achieve their goals. To show young people, to show their goals, the opportunities I've been given through being a professional football player allow me to perform on the field, but have also given me the platform to pursue what I am most passionate about, giving back to the community. It's an honor to be the Rams Club winner for the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year award alongside players around the league dedicated to their communities. Yeah, I agree. Again, couldn't have said it any better. Steven Jackson, former St. Louis Ram. Kyren grew up in St. Louis. Very known that he actually grew up a St. Louis Rams fan, so he's kind of playing for his hometown team. Never stopped rooting for them. Yeah, shout out to Steven Jackson, too. Leave a like on this video as well for Steven Jackson mentioned. But both guys, both running backs doing great things in the community. And that's great to see Kyren continuing that legacy for sure. It's an honor Williams badly wants to win because of how committed he is to inspiring the younger generation and making the most of his opportunities as a professional football player. Yeah, I totally agree. Again, this is just great news. If you want to know more about Kyren's charitable work, you can look it up on the Rams website. Because it'll give you, I hope it'll give you a list of things. I tried to find a list, but I unfortunately could not find it. If anyone knows any specific charities he works with, and anyone who does want to donate may want to know, leave that down below in the comments. Again, no pressure to donate to any of these charities. This is not branded, not partnered. Just want to make sure this gets some light shine on it, because it's great to see people doing good things in the community as well as on the field for sure. So again, congrats to Kyren. Hopefully he can get this award, but whoever wins this award is going to deserve it. This is one where it's not really a competition. It's whoever gets it, and at least Kyren is going to be recognized by the league no matter what, since he is nominated. So shout out to Kyren Williams and all the other 31 nominees for this award, because all of them greatly deserve it for doing great things. And that is all for this episode of Rams Digest. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. We're on the road to 5K, 5,000 subscribers. Josh and I believe we can get it by the end of the year 2025. We're on 110 away. Make sure to hit that sub button and click that notification bell. Click all so you get notified and never miss whenever we post our daily new Rams Digest video content pieces covering all things Rams so you do not miss a beat this NFL regular season. Leave a like on this video right now for Josh and I streaming Week 14, Sunday afternoon, 1:20 p.m. Pacific Time, Rams versus Cardinals. Leave a like on this video as well for Week 14 getting underway tonight with the Lions and the Cowboys. Ever important game in the NFC. And like this video as well for Kyren Williams being nominated for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Amazing accomplishment. Congrats to him. Like this video as well for a Steven Jackson mention. Comment down below right now your thoughts on the key matchups. Mine is Davante Adams versus Will Johnson. Leave in the comments your most important matchup. Leave in the comments as well your thoughts on the Tutu Atwell situation. I think he should play again, but make sure to let me know. Leave in the comments if you know anything else about Kyren's charitable work, because I'm definitely interested, and I'm sure some other people are as well. But that is all for this episode. I've been your host, Joshua Finehirsh. As always, thank you very much for watching another episode of Rams Digest. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon for another one, and have a great rest of your day.